welcome back to Madness in the Method, the podcast where we talk about Nicolas Cage and all the wonderful movies he has made during his long and prolific career. My name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my friend and trusty co-host, Christopher.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And if that intro sounded like I was very ironic, I wasn't. Well, not this time at least. Because in this episode we are talking about the 1993 drama crime movie? Action sometimes? It's Red Rock West, starring, you guessed it, Nicolas Cage, but also Dennis Hopper and Lara Flynn Boyle. Written and directed by John Dahl, and also his brother Rick Dahl helped him write it. It's a movie about what's his name? Michael? Peter? Michael. Michael, arriving in Red Rock, a little town, looking for work, and he's mistaken by the local barkeep as he's mistaken for a hitman. So he takes $5,000 and agrees to kill the barkeep's or bartender's wife. And from there on, hilarity ensues.
So you hadn't seen this movie before, right?
No, I had no idea what it was. And we talked about it briefly in the end of the last episode. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even read the little thing on IMDb what it's about. I just saw who was in it, and I saw it had a 79 Metascore. And I was like, ooh, this sounds good.
What?
So I didn't even know there was like murder and stuff in it. I just started watching like, whoa, what is happening here?
Yeah, it was one of those. It's interesting because it's one of those movies where a lie spins out of control. But in this movie, it's just truths that spins out of control. Because Michael is super honest throughout the entire movie. He's a super good guy.
Yeah, he's a super good guy
and
for the most part.
And every time he is a good guy, it just backfires and it spins another thread in this fucking web of intrigue that happens.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think of that. Because he lies once, and that's when he gets the money.
Yeah.
But every other time, he lies on his job application, or he's truthful on his job application. He's honest about hitting that guy with the car. He tells the truth to the sheriff, who turns out that he is the bartender and sheriff. Yeah, and each time everything just goes to shit.
Yeah. But it's interesting because his character never changes throughout the movie, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing, yeah.
Because you think that throughout because it's just things are happening and it just gets worse and worse and worse in this. I don't know what you even to call it, tragedy or comedy or whatever.
Yeah, almost call it like a tragic comedy or something, because it's not like out loud laughing, haha, funny, but it's like, what? You're baffled by every new twist and turn.
And I felt because in the beginning of the movie, the introduction of Michael is very it's very, I'd say heavy-handed, but that sounds negative. It's not negative. It's a good way of establishing his character, because we have two specific moments. The movie starts with that he's applying to as a job in a oil field, right?
Yeah, an oil drilling company. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's honest about that he has a leg injury, so he doesn't get a job. And then he goes to a gas station to fill up gas, but he doesn't have. And we see that he only has $5 left. He doesn't have any money left. And then he goes in to pay, but no one is there. And the cash register is open, and we see all this money. And he stands there for like 30 seconds, just looking at the money, and then I go, no, I wouldn't do that. And those two moments really establishes his character really good.
Yeah,
we know that this is an honest, good guy who's down his luck. And it feels throughout the entire movie that this all these things that happening to him, it would change him, and that he would become more
jaded.
Jaded, or what is it? Negative.
Yeah.
But he stays the same throughout the entire movie, which I like really a lot.
Yes, it was an interesting non-arc.
Yeah.
Because if there was going to be an arc, yeah, it would be for the worse. But he just decides, like, no, it's just better to be honest, just tell the truth, be the good guy. And every time life is like, come on, just do it, just take the money and run, just lie, you can do it, you'll be happy. It's like, no. And like we said, the one time he does lie, he gets $5,000. But it's also that time, it's that one lie that gets him into trouble for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword. So he does the right thing because ultimately that's what works in the end.
And I would say, just here, that I would put on a big spoiler warning for this movie, because
yes,
I really like this movie. I think
me too.
This movie was, I would go so far to say it's a great movie, and everyone should actually go watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil anything. So if you haven't seen this, I hate when people do this in podcasts, but I'm gonna do it. Just
press pause.
If you haven't seen this movie, just stop listening here. Go watch the movie and then listen to the episode, because this movie is great. It is.
Yeah.
It's a forgotten gem, really.
Yeah. And I'll say I think we should even try to avoid spoilers as much as possible.
Yeah.
So people can still listen. I mean, we're gonna spoil some things.
Yeah, some things we need to spoil, but so I'm just putting this warning out here that that you should do this. From here on, it's your fault, but we're gonna try not to spoil it, even though it's some things are gonna be spoiled.
Yeah, because the entire movie is just another turn, another twist.
Yeah,
so
so many twists, and it's really on the line of too many twists, but it just works.
Yeah, it's almost like towards the middle, it's almost farcical, because he keeps trying to leave Red Rock and he just keeps coming back somehow.
Yeah, but it works. That was one of the best gags, and I dislike that they gave up on it through like halfway through the movie. That he kept going past the sign of "Welcome to Red Rock."
Yeah.
If you're leaving Red Rock, welcome to Red Rock. So I would hope I wish they'd done that throughout the entire movie. But
yeah. I mean, imagine if it ended with the sign like saying, "Now leaving Red Rock, welcome back."
But yeah, so a lot of great people in the movie.
Oh yeah, that was my first why I was excited to see this. It's Dennis Hopper and Nicolas Cage, of course, and Lara Flynn Boyle.
Last time Dennis Hopper played with Nicolas Cage was in Rumblefish, right?
Yeah, exactly. He plays the father, right?
Yeah,
I
think so. Yeah, and I think J.T. Walsh is also one of those actors that you sort of know of. Yeah.
You see him everywhere in TV and movies.
Yeah, mostly in TV, but he's a good actor.
Yeah. And then you have one of the police officers, the one who doesn't... the main one of the other police officers. I don't remember his name. I think it's Deputy Great Tack. Yeah, Deputy Great Tack, played by Timothy Carhart. I recognized him, mainly recognized him from The X-Files. He plays one of the monsters in one of the earlier seasons.
Oh, right. Yeah, I recognized him, but I couldn't say from where. But now when I'm looking on his IMDb, it is from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 3. And he's the guy that... what's her name? Sigourney Weaver dates briefly in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
The violinist.
That's not something that I put in my memory.
I just saw when I looked him up, and I was like, oh, that's him. Well, okay then. Yeah, so he's been in a bunch of stuff, and I like him. Mainly from X-Files. Yeah. He's a gross, fat-eating monster.
Yeah. So I looked up the writer and director is John Dahl. He wrote together with his brother, I think, Rick Dahl.
Yes, Rick Dahl is his older brother, I think.
Oh, yeah. And he hasn't written a lot more than this. It was 2 other movies. He's directed a lot, but not written a lot.
Yeah, Rick Dahl hasn't done much. He has produced and written like 3 things. But yeah, John Dahl has gone on to direct a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And that's why when I watched this is a great movie. Why didn't this guy do more? And I was like, oh, he did TV. Yeah. That's why I don't recognize his name. Because you rarely think about people who direct TV.
That's true. But I really want to look into his movie Kill Me Again with Val Kilmer. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of it either. But just because this movie was really well written.
Yeah, and that seems to be action, crime, drama. So kind of the same as Red Rock.
I'll look into that someday.
Yeah.
Because the writing is phenomenal in this movie. That's the best part.
Well, the writing is good, but I wouldn't call it like I really like the movie, but it isn't like a masterpiece. It's like a really, really well made, like regular movie. I don't know how to describe it.
A regular movie.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not like it doesn't have like huge like life destinies being revealed, and it's not epic in any way. It's just a small, very well written movie.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's not one of those big movies, Oscar movies. Fair. Yeah. But I do think the writing is, plot wise, is on par.
Oh sure.
Because there's so many twists and turns, and yeah. I was really impressed, and I think it's the first movie in this Nicolas Cage podcast where I'm actually super impressed. Just
okay.
Because other movies like Rumblefish, I know they're good. This one was not. I knew nothing about this movie, and it was just good from start to finish. There wasn't even any weak points. Well, maybe there was a sort of a. Well, sort of. There was a sex scene in the middle.
Yeah.
And around there, the sex scene and a little before that, a little after that was But
yes, it does lag a bit in the middle.
Yeah, but it's just like for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at tops of the movie in the middle that is But also those things actually are important to establish the characters. Because of twists that are coming later. So it's not fun to watch at the moment, but they are important because everything is important.
It makes sense when you watch the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. Me too. It's it's one of the better ones that we watched so far.
Yeah, definitely. This is another one. I think this is. Most of all, why haven't I heard of this?
I don't know. There's you can make an entire like early Nicolas Cage box of just really good movies, like this. Amos and Andrew and Wild at Heart is popular, but like what else? Birdie, Racing with the Moon. Valley Girl is kind of popular, but yeah, there's so many movies in his first 10 years that is just like forgotten, and they're really good, and this one in particular, at least it got reviews at the time. Some of these movies didn't even get that, so and it got pretty good reviews as well.
So you've been looking into the reviews at the time, or just reviews afterwards?
I think I've just been looking at the reviews that are here on Metacritic, and I think most of them are from the time. What? Well, I looked at Empire, gave it 6 out of 10. Not stellar Lynch, but still an enjoyable film noir. It's not a David Lynch movie, so why would it be?
Wow.
However, speaking of that, there are moments in this movie, and also because Lara Flynn Boyle is in it, that feel kind of Lynchian.
And Dennis Hopper.
Oh yeah, and Dennis Hopper as well.
Yeah,
and Nicolas Cage, because he's been in. So there is a Lynchian quality to some of the scenes. I mean, it's not weird enough, but it has that. Specifically when they're in the office, standing in the closet.
Yeah.
And the two police officers come in and confront their sheriff about who he really is. And it turns out, well, yeah, we find out the real identity of him and of Lara Flynn Boyle's character. Mm. And just something with the music there, because they have this like smooth, very soft jazz in the background of that scene, which doesn't really fit, but it's like, sounds a lot like a David Lynch movie. People standing around just looking at each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something to that quote from Empire.
Well, maybe. Was there anything else you found? Or
that was Lynchian? Yeah. No, not really. Well, the kind of almost like farcical nature of him not being able to leave the town, that felt kind of, not specifically Lynchian, but like Lynchian in a weird way, you know, it's almost like he is stuck in a loop or something. And the fact that it takes place in a dusty little town reminded me a lot of the town they get to in what is it called, Big Tuna in Wild at Heart.
Oh yeah, Big Tuna.
Yeah. So, but that's about it. It was a very, very brief, but I just got a little hint of Lynch there. So.
Yeah. What else? There was something I was thinking of. Oh right. Just looking at the trivia of the movie.
Yeah.
That apparently another reason for me to watch this Kill Me Again movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, the reason Nicolas Cage is in this movie is because Francis Ford Coppola is an outspoken fan of Kill Me Again, John Dahl's first film.
Yeah, and he like became friends with John Dahl. Yeah, and he said, Nicholas, you should be in this movie. He's like, okay. And that's kind of funny because it feels like, it says it, Nicolas Cage largely took the part due to recommendations of his uncle. So maybe it was just something he did like as a favor, which is kind of weird because then you think he might phone it in, but I think he's really good in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of Rage Cage, barely anything. But
yeah, there's like one punch in a car ceiling or something like that.
Oh yeah, and he smashes a light bulb in a toilet. But I mean, it's not really something that's like sticks out as Rage Cagey.
No, I wouldn't. I would say 0 on the Rage Cage.
On the Rage Cage scale.
Ranking, yes.
Yeah. And maybe. I mean, coupling this with not Deadfall. That was but the movie before that, Amos and Andrew, and really Honeymoon in Vegas as well. Maybe he was like trying to tone it down a little bit.
Maybe. And then he had Deadfall just because he needed to get it out.
He needed to release it.
It was pent up. So I think this is a good opportunity. We mentioned it last week, but then we never did it. Can we just briefly discuss the concept of Rage Cage?
Yes.
What is it? What is the signifiers of a Rage Cage performance?
It is kind of this. Oh, that's hard because it's funny. I got a comment on the YouTube version of which one? Vampire's Kiss. And they mentioned that even though they really like Nicolas Cage in that role, they thought that maybe John Travolta could have done something good with that part. And I agree, he could have done something fun with that part, especially 80s Travolta. But it would have been a completely different character because Nicolas Cage, with the Rage Cage stuff, brings something so unique to every role that he takes.
Yeah.
Like we have mentioned, like the only one of these movies where I was like, he could have been replaced by anyone or by someone else is Honeymoon in Vegas, because that felt very much like a Tom Hanks movie. Other than that, though, he brings so much to the characters, and that it is that Rage Cage. That's something, and what that is, I don't know. what do you have? Because I actually don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't really grab it.
It is as you say. It is a thing. You know it when you see if I think everyone will know it when you see it. if you say Rage Cage, people who have seen at least a couple of Nicolas Cage's biggest movies, they will understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
And say, yeah, there was a Rage Cage, or no, there wasn't Rage Cage. But I think it's the big thing is the 0 to 100.
Yes.
In a very short span.
Yes.
Going from talking to screaming, and also he has this look in his eyes that he gets. It's just a way that you can see that this guy's unhinged. If someone looked at you in that way, like in the pub, you'd leave, or at least change tables.
Yeah, because something is wrong. He's not just angry. There's something else.
Yeah, it's just it's like it snaps. Like this is the moment he snaps, sort of.
Yeah. And I think it's also that he is obviously acting, but it almost goes beyond acting. Like he's just letting go. So I think that it's someone would probably call it pretentious, but I would almost call it as unpretentious as you can get, because he just fucking lets go of all the like inhibitions, like the scene in Vampire's Kiss. He just starts. He don't care that he like might when he starts trashing his room or his apartment. There's nothing planned. He just gets angry and starts kicking things, and lets it go. He's not worried about, we need to hit that mark, and let the stuntman do that because you might hurt. No. He needs to be in this moment and do this now, fucking now. I think it's that.
Yeah, and there's also this. He's very physical in his anger too.
Yes.
And it's just not that he definitely hits something or destroys something. It's just that he exaggerates his movements of his limbs and movements generally. He just exaggerates. Almost said that word, right?
Exaggerates, yeah.
A lot, and screaming a lot. And again, it's somewhere between a crazy guy on the subway meeting like a toddler.
Yeah.
Who doesn't get his candy. Somewhere in a combination of those two.
I think a perfect example where it's very short, so it's easy to just pinpoint. Because you mentioned like the physical aspect of it is it's a movie I haven't talked about yet. It's Face Off. In the beginning of the movie, when he is still the actual terrorist before they switch faces. When he's putting the bomb in the big church or whatever it is. And he just stops in the middle of the big hall or whatever they are. Just stops and does the windmill with his head because he's so happy.
Yeah.
It's not enough that he goes like, woohoo, and starts singing. No, he has to stop, put his hands on his knees and just windmill for a couple of seconds and then keep going.
Yeah.
Anyone else would have just said like, yeah, woohoo, or like played it down a little bit. Nope. Not he. He's in a heavy metal concert in the middle of this scene.
Yeah. And I think Rage Cage is... The best Rage Cage is... Well, first of all, he needs to play a character who where it makes sense to act like that.
Yes.
Like sort of like a villain or some other kind of psychopath in a way. Or unhinged person.
Yes, he needs to be a little unhinged, which he, for the most part, does. So it fits. I mean, I think he picks, at least here in the beginning, he picks the right parts for himself.
Yeah, definitely. And also, he needs, which we've seen in, Downfall specifically, Deadfall,
yeah.
That he needs someone to let him go and then rein him back in. Say, okay, you did yours, now you have to act also. You can...
Yeah,
you can't stay in that mindset. You need to get back to become an actor for a while too, and sort of keep Nicolas Cage in going between these two ways of existing.
Yes.
And when someone tries to rein him in too much, then that's when he does something else, like puts on a silly voice or do something other weird.
Yeah.
And if it isn't reined in enough, it becomes like in Deadfall, where he just
goes nuts.
Yeah. Where it's not even acting at that point.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it is he's doing in Deadfall, but I love it. Like we talked about.
Yeah, but it is. But it is not acting. It's just
no,
a person going crazy on camera, sort of.
Yes. But in Red Rock West, he is reined in because he doesn't go Rage Cage at all, but it works. Because he has a good script and a good director then to work with.
Yeah.
So he can function without the Rage Cage. It's just that people almost expect it nowadays, I think, that he's going to go a little bit crazy at least.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he can act without it. But it's not usual. And again, we talked about it before. That I think a lot of that was... In the beginning, he really needed to get stuff out. And do weird stuff. He seems to, for every movie, we've said this several times now, he gets more and more...
quirks.
Less quirks, I'd say.
Oh, less quirks.
Yeah,
okay.
he can act normally without quirks.
Oh,
now.
sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Sure. That's true.
and this movie is I think the peak of that, of the ones we've seen, where he's no quirks, just good fucking acting.
Yeah, because but what the movie did before this was Deadfall, so he got it all out of his system.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he needs to do. It's the thing from Jay Silent Bob Strikes Back. First you do the money movie, then you do the indie movie.
Oh yeah, sure.
Maybe he needs to do first you do the crazy movie, then you do the good movie.
Yeah. It's you make Star Wars to pay for your mansion, and you make a Marriage Story to pay for your coffee. As they said about Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. That's I don't know if we actually defined it, but sort of defined what the Rage Cage is.
I think it's good enough. People, again, will understand it, so it doesn't really need an explanation, but it should be somewhere within this. If we go into every movie he does, we need to address it at one point at least.
Yeah. So. I mean, because it has to be seen to be understood.
Yeah.
So we need to at least explain it as good as we can, since we're only talking about it. We can't show it. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I mean, there isn't much to say more unless we're gonna go into the specific spoilers.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I don't want to do that. Not for this one.
Not at all. We're not gonna have this. From now on, there's definite spoilers section, or should we just drop that completely?
Well, we could do that because we're almost past 30 minutes. So yeah, let's say we do some spoiler talk here, and then we yeah.
So from here on, it's definite spoilers, and
yes, we won't hold back.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, you shouldn't listen anymore.
No, here you can stop and get back to us.
Yeah. But yeah, so the movie.
Yes. And anything in particular you want to discuss? Spoiler talk.
So there was the biggest thing that I didn't like, and I didn't really get either. Is the ending. When he threw out the money. From the train car, because it is part of his character that it is honest and good, but this is money taken illegally, and he was obviously fine with that earlier when taking money from the wife and the husband to kill each other, and I saw that as taking money from a bad guy is fine.
Yeah.
But why isn't that fine at the end? I don't get that.
I think it's well, first of all, it was stolen from what we have to at least suppose is a honest company, the company that Lara Flynn Boyle and the other guy worked at, that they stole it from. But partly that, but also that everyone in the movie eventually are after that money. At first, it's Lara Flynn Boyle and whatever that guy's name is. I can't remember. You know the guy.
Wayne.
Wayne. Yeah, Wayne.
Wayner.
J.T. Walsh. Wayne.
Yeah.
But then he kind of goes after the money himself with Lara Flynn Boyle, Suzanne. Mm-hmm. And then when Dennis Hopper's character Lyle finds out about the money, he goes after the money. It's almost like, and a lot of people start dying because of the money. I mean, it's almost like it's cursed. So I think he doesn't want anything to do with it. And when they're on the train, I mean, he realizes that Suzanne didn't really care too much about him. She just wanted his help to get the money and get out of there. So for him, I think that money is just bad business, man, or bad news. So he'd rather get rid of it. I guess he was honestly more happy when he didn't have money. Because he wasn't beat up, he wasn't on the run, he didn't break the law, Because
I was thinking, just push her off, take the money and leave. You earned it from this shit.
But if he takes the money, they could still come after him.
No.
Lyle is dead, but Wayne is alive, Suzanne is alive.
Yeah, but they're going to prison.
Yeah, but they're going to get out sometime. I don't know. I think it was just in line with his character. He does, however, he saves one bundle of cash.
Yeah, and that's also this thing. That's my other question is, if he doesn't want the money, why does he keep that? Why doesn't he throw that off? It's just. I think
it's just like, he's the good guy, but he's still, I still need some. It's the wink wink nudge nudge that.
Yeah.
I'll just save a little bit for myself. I don't know how to explain it, but.
So I thought that part. I think it was a little weird.
No, I liked it, and how he just threw out the money. Hey, you want it so bad? Go get it! And just kicked her off. It was
I like that.
It was such a dude's rock moment. Like, yeah, fuck you, fuck off, bitch. Just kicks her off. He was so over all of this.
Yeah, I like that he actually kicked her off. I like that. She fucking deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, he wakes up with a gun in his face. So, yeah, he was completely over that situation. Fuck it, I'll just leave. Which he does, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like. I mean, it doesn't make complete sense, but I liked it as the ending for the movie.
Yeah, and I was just going to speak a little about the part which I hinted on, the before and after the sex scene.
Yes.
That part, I think, is the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's from.
It's when they're trying to start this love story thing.
Yeah, so it's like from his great escape from the bar.
Yeah. That scene is great.
Yeah,
with the truck and everything. With Dwight Yoakam in a small role.
So from that point, or well, technically from the point where he gets off the truck and into the truck, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
From that point up until they hide in the closet in the office.
Yes, exactly.
That chunk of the movie is
because it's just them hanging out, having sex, staying in a motel. And like, we're gonna run away to Mexico together. Yeah. It became another movie for a while.
Yeah, and it's kind of not interesting to watch.
No.
But again, when it revealed, after that point, it's revealed that she's not a bank robber, but a criminal.
Not a bank robber. Yeah, criminal. Yeah.
Then it makes sense. Then it falls to play. Oh, okay. So she was trying to get him, and and it works because he doesn't immediately give her up when the police gets into the office. Because he could have just opened the doors in the closet and say, "Yep, here's the other one.
Here they are. Thank you, officer. Bye bye."
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. So and that couldn't have happened if they didn't have sex like 4 hours or whatever, 8 hours.
So it is a necessary evil, that scene. But the love aspect, the love story aspect, was unnecessary. It wasn't needed in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, except for script convenience, but it was fine as just a twisty turny thriller comedy drama thing.
Yeah, and I think also the big problem with that part of the movie is that in every other part of the movie, again, there are twists and turns in like every scene. There's a new thing in every scene, and in that part, there's nothing new. No new information is acquired, sort of.
No, exactly. And that's why it feels so boring. But then as soon as we find out that, she was in on the whole thing with Wayne, that's when the movie picks up again. It's like a little pause in the middle that we didn't need.
Yeah. It's an intermission. You can just leave the movie for a while and then get back after it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But, again, I can't stop... just liking this movie.
No, and even that part, because I thought to myself like, this is boring. I thought the movie was gonna be like bad in the second half, but then it is only like maybe 10 minutes, if even that.
Yeah.
In a movie that's an hour and like 35, so it's not even that bad.
Yeah, because I was looking at the time when that part came up, because I was like, is this the end? Are they just gonna leave here? So I was just looking at how much was left in the movie. So, okay, so we're already in the third act.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it could have been a very convoluted. It would have been a terrible movie, but a convoluted way to set up that they are going on the road. From there on, that could have been the rest of the movie. So I'm happy that didn't happen.
Yeah, because it would have become very melodramatic. But it sticks to its guns, and it stays in the town. That's the whole thing. They never really leave the town, other than going to the cemetery that is just outside of town.
Yeah,
the movie literally ends when he properly leaves town, and I like that aspect of it as well.
Well, it depends if... because we don't really get a scale or indication on how far away the farm is.
That's true.
Where the couple live, because that... He goes quite a while on the truck.
That's true.
To get there.
But it does end up back in the town, so...
Yeah. Because, I mean... Because he leaves the bar, like, at afternoon... Still light out, I think. Isn't it?
It's dark when he climbs up on the roof.
No, right. It's dark, right? Because that's the same night that Dennis Hopper's character picks him up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it all takes place over, I think, 2 days. I think so.
Yeah. Oof.
So it starts morning of, let's say, Saturday. Then Saturday night, he escapes on the truck. Gets back, and then and then they go to bed and have sex. Wakes up on Sunday, and that's when the rest of the movie takes place. And then technically, it's Monday morning when he kicks her off the train, right?
Yeah,
because he falls asleep on the train, and it's light when he kicks her off. So I guess that's the morning.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about the character, I don't know if you were thinking about it, because he is definitely, if you go Dungeons and Dragons route, he's like lawful good throughout the time of Michael.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even fight anyone. Except at the end. That's only for self-defense.
Yeah, he tackles Lyle, Dennis Hopper's character, but that's it.
Yeah, and then he spears him.
Yeah.
But that's, again, it's self-defense, and it's not for killing, and it doesn't kill him either. It's just for him to stop killing.
Yeah. He's like a Western Jackie Chan.
Yeah. No, so he lies like once.
Yeah, really only once, yeah.
He never fights except in self-defense. And he, like, every point he goes back to help someone instead of himself. Every time he's able to. So I think it's a very good male character.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking in role model terms, put it
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. It's a very good character in that way. He's an honest, good man, does the best he can.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So yeah,
And that way he's very, very likable.
yeah, extremely likable. And he's not cocky either.
No. He's he's just all around very good.
Yeah, but he's very honest in himself too.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
He's humble.
Yeah. And I think the only time he speaks highly of himself in any way is the time when he's like, "Yeah, I am better than you." To the hitman.
Yeah.
But that's straight
literally
up fact.
Exactly. Dennis Hopper is he's a backstabbing, two-timing son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, did you predict that she was a bad guy before the reveal?
No. I had a suspicion. It was something in the back of my head when he's in her house, or their house, I suppose. He's like, "I got this money to kill you. Wayne gave it to me," and she's like, "Why don't you kill him for me?" It gives him more money. Then it's like, huh? Because if it was just like, he is won over by her beauty, and now it's going to be a love story. Then she would have just said, "Oh, thank you so much," and then they would have run away directly. But since she was like, "Maybe you should kill him instead," I was like, "There's something." But then then it's not revealed until like, in the middle of the movie. So I almost like brushed it off. But then when that happened, it's like, I knew it.
I got you pegged from the start.
I fucking knew it, you bastard. But yeah, I was not really expecting it, but it was a aha when it happened.
Yeah, because I think I don't think I predicted either. Yeah, one sort of twist I predicted, and that was that it was the hitman when he fell in front of a car. I was like, that's the hitman's car.
No, I didn't see that one either. I just thought he was gonna. I thought Dennis Hopper was gonna play just a nice old man.
Yeah.
And then I was just, oh fuck. But the best one was when the sheriff comes into the hospital and it's Wayne. You're like,
oh yeah.
Wait, what?
No,
this can't be happening. That's before the whole farce thing has started happening. She's just, this can't be. And from there, it just gets worse.
It's every reveal. It's like, oh no, it can't be. No,
they wouldn't. Oh no. But it never gets like ridiculous. It's like, oh come on. It's always just no.
Yeah, as I said, it's just below the line of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
So it's that's why I'm so impressed with the plot, that they were able to pack so. More or less an entire script with only twists in every scene.
Without making it ridiculous.
Without making it too many twists or ridiculous. It's impressive.
or just actually before Wayne appears at the hospital as the sheriff, when he's carrying the guy he hit with his car, he's carrying him in, and it's like, oh my god, I hit him with his car. And then the police officers arrive and they're like, we're going to need you to stay here. So, why is that? I just hit him with my car. Then how do you explain this? And they pulled out 2 bullets from him. He's like, wait, what? I just hit him with my car. Okay. I guess that's kind of where it starts.
Yeah. It wasn't the ending I predicted, but it was the same vein of the ending I predicted.
It's kind of like it's almost too many threads to like properly tie it up.
Yeah,
so it's more like they did, but it is kind of a classic, like, whatever, and you just leave all the mess behind.
Yeah, I was thinking the ending would be that everyone got locked up, and there was this big thing, and then at the aftermath he would just go and get into his car and leave. Yeah, that was. So it's sort of the same ending, but same feeling at least.
But instead it's like him just, hey, you know what? You deal with your problems. I'm just going to leave. I'm not part. I mean, technically, no, he is technically part of it, but he's not. He's really on the outside of all these quarrels. So he's just like, you know what? Bye bye. It was a nice life. Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess that's the movie.
Yeah. So everyone who paused to watch the movie, now we're back. No more spoilers.
There's no way for them to know though when to start.
That's fine. That's fine. They'll figure it out.
But there's a lot of trivia and things for this movie though.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
I haven't read anything. I just clicked on the tab now on IMDb. So
there's
more than other movies.
So this one actually has a lot of trivia. I mean, not always interesting, but
no, most trivia is just. Did you know that all these people were in a Lynch movie before this?
Yeah, we know. Well, here's one that kind of agrees with our love for the movie. It's included among the American Film Institute's 2001 list, however. List of 400 movies nominated for the top 100 most heart-pounding American movies. Heart-pounding? I don't know about heart-pounding. Maybe some scenes, but...
I do like, according to John and Rick Dahl, the film is regarded as a mystery western.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about that. For me, it almost felt like a film noir at points because of all the twists and turns and all the backstabbings. Yeah. But yeah, it takes place in kind of a western setting.
Yeah, it also has
western
West
noir
in the name, so...
That's true.
Well, yeah, I would say, if I had to pick one, I'd say like noir, more a noir story, I'd say.
Yeah, since you have you have police officers, backstabbings. It's not quite a detective, but you have a hitman. So
talk about western. That was just a great detail. I don't know if you thought about it. His great escape when he walked on the plank to get over to the truck.
Oh yeah.
The reason nobody saw him, because every single person in that scene has a hat with a rim on it.
Oh yeah. That's true, yeah.
even like the truck drivers, the two people stand talking, they both have
they have trucker hats on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great detail, which actually makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Oh.
But yeah, I guess that's it. It's no reason to pad out the time for the...
No.
So, what do you think of the movie?
Oh, I liked it. I liked it a lot. During this discussion, I gave it. My rating. I rated it on IMDb. I gave it an 8 out of 10. So I'll do the same here.
Yeah, I would go so high to say 9. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 9 for me. So 8 for you.
Yeah. I always reserve 9 and 10s for me are when they like hit me on an emotional level. So
right.
This is as high as you can go without making me cry or laugh or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I usually go, for me when it's scoring, when it's this high, it's mostly, I go for perfection.
Okay.
If there's something here that I can, how many wrongs are there? And there are none.
No, not really. I mean, there are some goofs if you want to go through that list, but
yeah. But so yeah, I would say it's not a perfect movie, but it is close in my book.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, from a technical standpoint, yeah, and for what it is, yes, it is close to flawless. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, 9.
Very, very, very good movie. This is definitely, like we've said it several times now. You should definitely check this one out. Yeah. It's not like if you're looking for like a great Nicolas Cage movie, you know, that it's not that, because he is very reined in, but it is a great movie, and I mean Nicolas Cage is in it.
Yeah, I mean
he does scream, he does break some things, you know.
I would say this is a perfect. It's not, well, maybe, but I would say it's not a movie night movie. I would say this is like it's Tuesday or midweek, and you want to watch a good movie. You have an hour and a half to spare. This is perfect, I'd say.
Yeah, or maybe like it's not really like a hangout with friends kind of movie, but maybe a date night movie.
Could be.
Because it's inoffensive enough, but also interesting enough to keep your attention, you know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, could be. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those movies.
It's one of those movies.
One of those movies. Yeah, and I guess that's it. Any closing thoughts?
No, not so much about this. I'm very happy with the. I'm very happy the movie turned out as good as it did, because I know there was some other movie we talked about where I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this, and it was just terrible. I don't remember which one it was, but this one I was maybe. Well, I kind of liked that one.
Well, yeah, it wasn't terrible.
But it wasn't perfect.
Firebirds?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember what my expectations were. But for this one, they were very high. And they were all met. I was pleasantly surprised, even though my expectations were high. So that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Yeah, same.
Either with new or old movies.
So now we're in the busiest year Nicolas Cage, so far at least, 1994. This is the first movie released 1994, and next week it's Guarding Tess.
Yes. Where he's like a bodyguard for some politician or something?
Yeah, it's possible I've seen this movie, but I don't remember anything from it, but I know of it, at least.
Yeah, this is one of those I bought in preparation for this, because I just looked up what they had in my local web shop, and this was one of them, so I just bought it. I have no idea what it is.
Your local web shop? I think you misunderstood the concept of a web shop.
It's a former U.S. First Lady wants a particular Secret Service agent to head her bodyguard detail, even though he can't stand her. Oh
my god! So it's gonna be a comedy, a heartfelt comedy, probably.
Yeah, it's an odd couple
where he learns to love again, or something.
Yeah,
like that. Again, I've heard of it. I don't think it's gonna be amazing, but I don't think it's gonna be bad either. I think it's gonna be middle of the road.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine. Shirley MacLaine, Nicolas Cage. It'll be fine.
So that's next week.
That's next week, yeah. Guarding Tess. Check it out if you want to follow along in the conversation. But until then, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, you can listen to us on every major podcast platform, or you can watch us on, well, you can't watch us, but you can listen to us on YouTube as well. Every Tuesday. And you can also get all these episodes, or at least a bunch of them. Well, I mean, we have a bunch of them in early access on Patreon. So for only $3 a month, you get every episode at least like a month in advance. You also get a bunch of other stuff, commentary tracks. You get exclusive episodes to my other podcast. A lot of things for just $3 a month. So check us out there as well. But other than that, well, thank you so much for listening once again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Madness in the Method is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is hosted by Tobias Vedén and Christopher Billén. Editing and directing by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. A huge thank you to all our Patreons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Rasmus Jonsson, Laura Kinney, Mom, and Ben.